Good Saturday morning. It is November 2nd, 2024. Going to be a cooler day as we get onto these northerly winds. When the high pressure system's off to the left, you get that clockwise flow. It's bringing cooler air down from the north because the winds are from the north. So from these cooler regions, it filters in here. High today will be around 60 degrees. Tonight in the upper 30s to around 40. Tomorrow, again, around 60 for a high. Again, tomorrow night, lows around 40. And then we go up to about mid-60s on Monday, but then we're back into the much warmer than normal. Highs in the low and mid-70s by mid next week. And then that's just the way it looks until a chance of a, with a front coming through. Again, we'll get into the northerly flow again, and that's what I'll show here. So as we kind of go through time, we click through the rest of the day and then into tomorrow. Don't forget, you got to change your clocks. I'm sure you'll get reminded a million ways. That high still is pretty much kind of due north of us into all through Sunday, but you see it start moving to the east, which means the winds are going to change direction. So we start to warm up a little bit on Monday. And then on Tuesday, we see, again, these 500 millibar, these red lines are coming northward. That's warmer air. We'll get up into the 70s. And the 70s will stick around until Thursday when the front comes through. That front could possibly trigger a shower, but you see nothing really crazy to define here. We do see some tropical trouble down here to the south, which people will need to watch out for. But for us, we're staying on dry. Now, here we go again. We're on the east side where the winds are more from the north. But this isn't a major push of cool air. So highs coming, Friday into the weekend of next weekend don't look as chilly as it will be the next 2 days, honestly. So I'd say like mid-60s or more. And there the highs going eastward again. And we're staying on the warm side of things. So probably mid-upper 60s, maybe around 70. Oh, here we go again. The highs to our west. So again, that's going to cool us down. So now we're looking really far out there on the 8th of November. So that's Friday time frame. So that's when we're going to see the cooler temps for a little bit. But then it's, turning right around and getting warm again. So again, highs, we kind of go back and forth between a pretty warm pattern to slightly cooler, but still above normal, back to above normal temperatures, but really no rain. But here's where we see the first change in maybe moisture capability. And that's because whatever's going on down here in the Gulf could pump in some more moisture in with those warmer temperatures. And if that happens, the front that comes towards us could have a little more to it than just a dry frontal passage. And boy, wouldn't that be a welcome sight if we get some rain. So although there is concern there'll be some type of a tropical system that comes in here to the Gulf states, this doesn't look very strong on the GFS, but we'll see. What it does do is it pumps up some of the moisture into the areas that have been really, really dry now, and that includes us. And the question is, how much moisture will we be able to push our way? Well, we finally see a break in the dry conditions. It keeps hinting at this around the 10th or 11th, so around Veterans Day, that maybe something would come through and slightly change things, but not for very long, because here we go. Southerly winds again out in front of a more potent front. We've got to see if all this comes true, because if it does, this probably is somewhat of a pattern change with cool air being able to infiltrate the country, and we may even see a little bit of that. I'm not saying we'll see a major bit of that, but it definitely could be cooler than it has been for a few days. I mean, if this was to come true, we definitely have a cool shot towards the middle part of the month. Originally, this is when it looked like it was going to happen on older models, and then it backed off. So maybe it's coming back into this idea that we see colder pattern for a few days. Maybe some mountain snows out to the west of us. We'll have to see. I mean, we're in La La Land in the GFS, but I can say, overall, the pattern has been, hey, somewhere around the 10th or 11th, there's going to be a juice up front that's going to come through, bring us a little bit more rain, and then we have another kind of warm up, and then maybe a frontal passage come through, but then I think that's still brief that we cool off for a while before we get back into some warmer temps for a bit. Anyway, this is a long outlook. Sorry, y'all. Have an awesome Saturday, awesome weekend. Being your Loudoun County Weather Outlook.